Hare Krishna. I'm sharing the screen with the bhajan. You can keep on mute and chant as well, but I humbly request everyone to please sing the bhajan. But doing it online is going to be a little difficult. So I'll request you all to be on mute and sing at your end. It's about we advising our mind to chant the names of Hari, right? Because mind is very troublesome. It never allows us to chant. Bhajahure mana, Sri Nanda Nandana. Mana means mind. Bhajahure mana, Sri Nanda Nandana, Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. Bhajahure mana, Sri Nanda Nandana, Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange, Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange, Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange, Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange, Tarohe e Bhava Sindhure, Taroho e Bhava Sindhure. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. Sita Atapa Bata Barisana, Sita Atapa Bata Barisana, Edina Jamini Jagire, Edina Jamini Jagire. Vipale Sevino Kripana Durjana, Vipale Sevino Kripana Durjana, Chapala Sukhalabha Lagire, Chapala Sukhalabha Lagire. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana, Abhay Charanara Vrindare. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana, Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. Edhana Yaubana Putra Parijana, Edhana Yaubana Putra Parijana, Etheke Ache Para Titire, Etheki Ache Para Titire. Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala, Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala, Bhajahu Hari Pada Nitire, Bhajahu Hari Pada Nitire, Bhajahu Re Mana Sri Nandanandana, Abhay Charanara Vrindare. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana, Abhay Charanara Vrindare. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana, Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana, Pada Sevana Dasya Re, Pada Sevana Dasya Re. Pujana Sakhi Jana Atmani Vedana, Pujana Sakhi Jana Atmani Vedana, Govinda Dasa Abhi Lashare, Govinda Dasa Abhi Lashare. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana, Abhay Charanara Vrindare. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana, Abhay Charanara Vrindare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Brindare. Bajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Brindare. Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Taroho E Bhava Sindhure. दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे करो हो ए भव सिंधुरे भजहु रे मन श्री नंदनंदन अभय चरनार वृंदरे भजहु रे मन श्री नंदनंदन अभय चरनार वृंदरे Bajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vrinda Nitai Gaura Hari Premanande Hari Hari Bo गोविंद दास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री ब्रह्म मध्व गौड़ी गुरु परंपरा सांप्रदाय की जय, निताई गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Come on, everybody together. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपः कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रे। नमो महाबदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गुरतिशे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौ ब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुकुं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपः तमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुदिनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष सभ्याभ्यन्तरं शुचे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, thank you for joining. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Manjula Mataji, thank you for
Namaste,
joining. Hare
Baba.
Krishna.
Namaste, Prabhuji. Dandavat Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Animesh Prabhu and Gyan Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Arvind Prabhu and Padma Mataji, you are in your farmhouse, Prabhuji, throughout the
Yes,
holidays?
Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji, we came yesterday only. We were there at Avatar only.
Acha. No, you're staying overnight there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Last night we came, Prabhuji.
How was it staying alone in that lonely place?
Yesterday we tried, Prabhuji. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, there is security, right? I mean, you have some.
Yes, watchman is there.
Yes, yes. He is thinking you are securing him. You are thinking he is securing you. Both are in illusion. Hare Krishna. Ramesh Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. How are
Hare
you?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Baunara.
Good Prabhuji. Vigalana.
Baunan Prabhuji. దేవుడి దయ. అందరు ఆరోగ్యాన్ని ఉన్నారా ప్రభుజీ?
Prabhuji. All well.
హరే కృష్ణ. ఇప్పుడు ఏది ఏ బ్లాక్ లీడింగ్ కరోనాలో?
I think block 2.
ఎవరు చెప్తే వాళ్ళు లీడింగ్, ఎవరు చెప్పకపోతే వాళ్ళు లీడింగ్ కాదు. హరే కృష్ణ. హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్. ప్రసాద్ ప్రభు, దండవత్ ప్రణాం ప్రభుజీ, ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ. హరి బోల్. మీ ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళందరూ ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉన్నారా ప్రభుజీ? యు ఆర్ క్యారింగ్ 4 generations with you.
సేఫ్ ఇక ప్రోటోకాల్ ఫాలో అవడం.
అవును ప్రభుజీ, చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. హరే కృష్ణ. I think we stopped our satsang at the right time. You know, maybe one more satsang, you don't know what could have happened. Yeah. Recently in our satsang, one devotee family, they called for a birthday party for the children. So only children went, and one of the child had corona. So 14 children went. 14 children from there went to 14 houses. but luckily nothing happened. I don't know, no symptoms. My children also went. No symptoms.
Children's, I think, recurring faster. Sometimes they're not even like, doesn't show even symptoms, they recur.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Jyoti Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Tulasi Mataji. Hare Krishna. Raja Ramesh Prabhu. How are you? How is your family doing, Prabhuji? Mataji?
Yeah, Prabhuji, it's okay, Prabhuji. Everything got recovered and everything is fine now.
So you have killed corona.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Vijay Raghavan Prabhu, how are you? Where are you joining from?
I'm fine, Prabhuji, doing good.
You're joining from where?
So I am currently at my parents' place in Molali.
Molali, Hare Krishna. My Dandavat Pranam to your father, Prabhuji.
I'll do that. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Vinod Prabhu, Hari Bol. I can see your daughter and you. How is Mataji, Ramya Mataji? You're all in good health, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Prabhuji. All are good.
Hare Krishna.
All are good.
Hari Bol. Very nice. All well. Yogesh Prabhu and Deepti Mataji. How are you, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
सब ठीक प्रभु घर पे?
Yes, Prabhuji, we are all well.
और आपके पेरेंट्स, माताजी के पेरेंट्स?
हाँ जी, Prabhuji, all well in Delhi.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So nice. So far, so good. Everybody is good. We have an iPhone. I don't know if it's Steve Jobs who is joining. Hare Krishna. I don't know the name there. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Yeah. Okay. So thank you all for joining. I'm very grateful that we are continuing this journey. We all families together, especially when I see all of you young families, coming to Bhagavad Gita sessions on a Sunday morning. That is like going against the Kali Yuga, going against the government of Kali Yuga, right? So we are in a way terrorists of Myhome avatar, who are going against the Kali Yuga waves. So ideally on Sunday morning, we should not be getting up by now, isn't it? We should get up around 12:30 and brush at 1 o'clock, and maybe, spoiled brats is what I'm talking about, right? And 1:30 order from Swiggy, whether it is breakfast or lunch, nobody knows, right? That's the Sunday morning for many people. You'd be astonished that for many people, that is the Sunday morning. Even in, where I'm staying, people come out from their balconies at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, like, good morning. So, but here are we, who are getting up early in the morning. Some of you even attended this morning Bhagavatam class. We discussed about Ganga Sagar Dham today in West Bengal. And some of you even chanted your rounds from the morning. I've seen Arvind Prabhu chanting. So, so this is a very unusual thing that we are doing. We are doing the most healthiest thing spiritually and also materially. Getting up early in the morning, doing your morning course, and then chanting this, and keeping a very good consciousness throughout the Sunday, right? What this does is it affects our decisions in life, right? What this consciousness does, what these Bhagavad Gita sessions do, is it affects our decisions in life, and the decisions will become more and more in sattva guna decisions, right? And ultimately our life will become more healthier, sometimes even wealthier, and a lot of happiness will come into our lives. So I'm very grateful that I'm surrounded by families like you who are coming to these sessions, and I'm eagerly waiting for all of us to meet in person, right? I don't know when that month will come. People are saying that this might peak up in the next 1 week, and then it will start dipping down, and maybe by end of Jan or first week of Feb, I don't know, I'm just speculating, we might all be set. That's what they're saying. And so far I've not heard any extreme case of COVID in my whole circle. People are getting it and it's going away, just like a flu or a common cold. So please take care of yourselves. Hare Krishna. Chandra Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Mamta Mataji and Chandra Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. So last week we discussed about extensively about the 3 modes of material nature, about the body, the subtle body, and the gross body, isn't it? So any doubts on that before we go forward? Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. That was the verse that we discussed last week. So we discussed that individual soul, it has a mind, it has intelligence, and through its mind, to fulfill its desires of the senses which belong to the gross body, it keeps endeavoring, and three modes of material nature keeps giving choices, right? So there are a lot of influencing things for us to function. We think that we are the people who are making the choice. No, we are just making the choice, but there is such a big influence that our potential of making choice is very low, right? Sometimes we think that we are making a choice, but it is not we who are making a choice. We are influenced to make the choice. Our choice is so small. It's like, it's like a hungry person is taken to a big menu of, lunch menu, big lunch menu, 50 items, and he is a hungry person. And he has only one choice, right? Either to eat from left side or from right side. That's all is the choice he has. He cannot choose whether he'll eat or not. That is out of question because he's already hungry. Isn't it? You all agree, right? So same way our situation is like that. Our mind is filled with desires. So the question is, which desire you will fulfill? Mode of ignorance desire, mode of passion desire, or mode of goodness desire? All three are coming in front of us. Through knowledge and intelligence, we have to choose which desire we are going to fulfill. Okay, so any questions on this before you go forward? Because the fundamental aspect of Bhagavad Gita. Did you all understand? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, good. If you all understood, nothing like it. Because I took many years to understand this. You all are very intelligent. Thak, you got it. Even now I forget that who is making the decisions here, me or my mind or modes of material nature or what is happening, right? Okay, so we'll go to the next verse of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, this one. So the previous one we already discussed, 3.27. Now we'll go to 3.28. Yes, please repeat after me. Tattvavittu Mahabaho.
Tattvavittu Mahabaho.
Tattvavittu Mahabaho.
Tattvavittu Mahabaho.
Gunakarma Vibhagayo.
Gunakarma vibhagayo.
Gunakarma Vibhagayo.
Gunakarma vibhagayo.
Gunaguneshu Vartanta.
Gunaguneshu vartanta.
Gunaguneshu Vartanta.
Gunaguneshu vartanta.
Iti Matvana Sajjate.
Iti matmana sajjate.
Iti Matvana Sajjate.
Iti matmana sajjate.
Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please repeat after me. Translation, repeat after me. One who is in knowledge.
One who is in knowledge
Of the absolute truth.
of the absolute truth.
O mighty armed.
O mighty arm.
Does not engage himself.
Does not engage himself
In the senses and sense gratification.
in the senses and sense gratification.
Knowing well.
Knowing well
The differences between.
the differences between
Work in devotion.
work in devotion
And work for fruitive results.
and work for fruitive results.
Right. So here Lord Krishna is telling, when our intelligence is increased, like attending so many satsangs and learning Bhagavad Gita, what happens is our Jnana Chakshu increases, our vision through knowledge increases, right? And then what we do, we stop making decisions only for our sense gratification, right? Because sense gratification is, it feels good, it is enjoyable, anything that we enjoy through our senses, our eyes, our nose, our skin, our genitals, everything that we are trying to enjoy, it feels good, but it is temporary. So the intelligence says that why should we aim for something temporary, aim for something permanent? Another problem with aiming for temporary sense gratification is we get attached to this body and these senses and we keep taking birth again and again and again. Because I want to fulfill this desire, I want to fulfill that desire. So you keep taking birth again. But when you stop this sense gratification, or rather regulate this sense gratification, and work your life for enjoyment of the senses of Krishna, right? Krishna has senses, and we are trying to serve his senses. Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam. Bhakti Ruchate, Bhagavatam says, which is Rishikena, our senses, Rishikesha, the control of all senses. Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam. I'm serving my senses in service of the control of the senses. Bhakti Ruchate, that is Bhakti. Right? When you perform that, then automatically we'll never take birth again. We will not come back to this mortal world. Rather, we'll go back to our eternal abode, and we will have our Swarupa Siddhi. We'll have our own Swarupa to serve Krishna. Right? And we'll be satisfied completely. Yatma Suprasidati. We'll completely become happy. Yes. So let's read the purport now, and we can discuss a little on that. Right? Okay. The knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in the material association. Let's meditate on this statement for 1 minute. The knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in material association. So my question to all of you is, what is awkward position here? Prabhupada is saying the people who become Krishna conscious find themselves very awkwardly situated in this material world. Why awkward? What is there to be awkward here?
Because that material association, a devotee will not enjoy it. He feels awkward.
But why? That's what I'm asking. I know we are not enjoying. A Krishna conscious person doesn't enjoy material things. But why?
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, because the devotee got so used to the higher taste, he doesn't enjoy anymore like material desires.
Yes, wonderful. Very nice. Very nice. Higher taste. Yes, very good. Anybody else? What else? Yeah, that's the right answer. There are many things why we get irritated. Why a devotee doesn't want to enjoy material things? Why?
Prabhuji, Sravanti here.
Yes,
I think
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhuji, I joined little late. I was busy with breakfast. Okay, so what I think is the level of consciousness for a devotee is at a different level. So
what is that consciousness? What is the thought process in that consciousness, Shravanti Mataji, that he doesn't want to enjoy it anymore? I'm talking about a Krishna conscious person. I'm not Krishna conscious. I'm struggling to be Krishna conscious. I'm in the journey of becoming Krishna conscious.
Right. So what I think is it's not about not wanting to enjoy, but they are looking for something else. They are not looking for material things.
But why? Material things are nice, right? See, who doesn't like to watch Pushpa movie? Huh? Who doesn't like to watch what is that latest movie that came?
Bangaras.
Huh?
Bangaraj.
Bangaraju. I don't know. Right? Some big RRR, you know. So many movies are there now. Who doesn't like to watch that? Why a devotee is not that much interested in that?
The attachment is more towards Krishna rather than the material things.
That's wonderful answer, right? So he's more attached to Lord Krishna than the material world. And yes,
he is protected by Krishna.
He is protected by Krishna. Wonderful. Yes, Krishna also protects him. Correct. Very, very good answer. Yes, Krishna also protects him that he doesn't fall back into the trap. Okay. Why else?
They got higher taste.
What is that, Prabhuji?
They got higher taste.
It's got higher taste. How many of you are missing the satsang khichdi? Tell me. Bahut din ho gaya na? Yes. Higher taste. Yes. What else? Why else? Come on, think about it. I want you all to think. Why a devotee?
Prabhuji, these are all temporary things he knows.
So his intelligence, he understands that he pura temporary hai. You know, I should try to enjoy that is permanent, eternal, right? Because I am eternal, I am the soul, I am not this body. I want to be connected with something eternal so that I'll eternally exist. Right now, I'm connected to something material, which is temporary. Yes. Very good answers. I'm very happy with these answers. That means you all have heard previous sessions. Yes. So what else? What are the reasons? Come on, think. One more very important reason. See, when you try to enjoy fruitative things, or when you expect fruitative results, what is the reaction to it?
Dukkam.
You get reactions, right? Anything that you try to enjoy, you get reaction to it, right? Good also gets a reaction, bad also gets a reaction, right? So a devotee understands that performing material things has a reaction, meaning I have to take birth again, right? He understands very clearly that I have to come back and enjoy this. I've done good to somebody, I have to come back and receive that good. I've done bad to somebody, I'll have to come back and receive that bad. I'm trying to enjoy my senses, I become attached. And I'll keep taking birth again and again to fulfill that attachment. Isn't it? So, Prabhuji, here what Lord Krishna is telling in the verse is that an intelligent Krishna conscious devotee does not get attached to the activities related to fruitative results, does not get attached to sense gratificatory activities. Does it mean devotees don't enjoy? Does it mean devotees don't enjoy? No, they enjoy a lot, but they enjoy with Krishna. Right? How many of you attended the New Year party here, Haribol? Dandavat Pranam.
I
Anybody?
attended.
All of us attended.
Yeah, most of you attended. How was it? Was it a different experience?
Yes, Prabhu.
Enjoying with Krishna. We could not manage the time properly. Otherwise, we could have done more dramas and we could have done more kirtan, more dance. Isn't it? Was it a very different experience? Tell me. I mean, frankly, tell me. Okay, I will admit before I ask you. It's okay to say otherwise. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, I am enjoying the parties relevant to Krishna consciousness more than what I used to enjoy before. I don't know. I'm telling this about myself. You know, when I go with my outside friends now, and I go there and I try to sit there in between them, everybody is trying to enjoy. There also enjoyment is there. But now after coming to Krishna consciousness, the satsangs, the festivals, you can say satsang parties are more enlivening and more happy. Right? How many times you have seen all your friends do dramas? You tell me. Somebody became Narada with a guitar. You know, somebody became, like a rat. Running around. Right? All that you never do that. Right? How many times, as a family, you all have done a drama? Tell me, in the house.
Never, Prabhu.
Never it happens. But between devotees, it happens. Right? How many times we all sat down and did kirtan? Did you all remember that kirtan that small girl did? Giriraj Prabhu's daughter.
Wonderful, Prabhu.
Unbelievable, right? I mean, everybody got so touched by it, so much totally into it, right? Kirtans.
Yes. Yes.
And everybody singing loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Prabhuji and Mataji's enjoyment is there.
Yes.
Enjoyment is there in material activities, enjoyment is there in spiritual activities. But an intelligent person chooses the spiritual enjoyment because this enjoyment is eternal and this enjoyment will not make us take birth again. Simple.
Yes.
This enjoyment will keep us attached to Krishna. We keep Krishna in center of all our enjoyment. So that is what an intelligent person does, right? Unintelligent people, they will go ahead and they go ahead and do material enjoyment, but what that results is, it results in reactions, right? So here, Lord, here Prabhupada is saying that we are positioned in a very awkward situation in the material world. Devotees in the material world, a very awkward situation. Why? Because material world is going towards sense enjoyment and devotee is going against sense enjoyment. He's going towards the sense enjoyment of Krishna, whereas materialistic people are going towards sense enjoyment of themselves, right? When you're trying to make Krishna happy, you'll never get frustrated. But when you're trying to make somebody else happy in this material world, you'll definitely get frustrated. Just think about it. How many of you, okay, you don't have to answer this, but I'm just asking a question. How many of you got frustrated at least once in your life serving your wife? serving your husband? Abba, enta pettina waste ra babu. Ippudu satisfy atharilu, right? I don't know. I felt like that many times, every morning, I get a class from my wife. No, waste gadu aneshi. I was thinking, Are, this much what I'm doing for my family, if I do it for Krishna, I would have been in a different situation altogether, right? But I'm continuing to do it. That doesn't mean that we'll not do it for wife and husband. I'm just trying to make us realize that is there one person in this planet who is completely happy with you? Tell me. ఒక్కడే ఉన్నాడా మనం చూసి అబ్బా ఐఎమ్ వెరీ హ్యాపీ విత్ దిస్ పర్సన్ అని? జస్ట్ థింక్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. వీఆర్ 40-45 years old. 40 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి ఒక్కరిని కూడా మనం సాటిస్ఫై అయ్యలేకపోయినాం. ఒక్కరిని కూడా. మన కొడుకులను కాదు, మన పిల్లలను కాదు. సారీ యోగేష్ ప్రభు, went into తెలుగు. సో యునో किसको हम लोग satisfy किए जिंदगी में? कोई एक तो होना चाहिए. कोई भी नहीं है. Everybody is complaining. Everybody is complaining, no matter what you do. Boss is complaining, wife is complaining, husband is complaining, children are complaining, servant maid is complaining, neighbor is complaining, right? Everybody is complaining that this fellow is useless. You're not getting the point. That's what they tell. So why, so what is the hope? Only Krishna is the hope. Krishna is the only one who doesn't complain. Every morning he comes and stands in front of us like this. Come and serve me. I have no problem with you. I am waiting for you. So a God conscious person realizes that. He also serves his family, but he also makes his family serve Krishna. Simple, right? Make Krishna the center of everything in your house. Center of everything. Not that you measure with a tape, where is my house and my center point with Krishna Koraku. No, that's not what I'm saying. One devotee did that. When he was constructing his house, he literally made a measurement from all directions and said, Prabhuji, this is the center point. I made Krishna in the center of the house. No, that is not what it means by keeping Krishna in the center of the house. What it means is, in every activity there is Krishna. In every happiness there is Krishna. In every what do you call that, festival there is Krishna. Every food that you make in house, that is for Krishna, and we all take it as prasadam, right? In every fight also there is Krishna only. When husband and wife are fighting, fight for Krishna. Fight for Krishna at the end. I will, I think yellow dress looks better than red dress. I feel yellow dress is better, and husband says red dress is better. Fight for that. Morning till night you fight, but that fight includes Krishna. That is the point. Keep Krishna in the center and fight around Krishna, jump around Krishna, do whatever, but Krishna should be there. That is our life should be, right? For example, one day my wife was not well, and I planned for a satsang without asking her. So she gave me left, right, and center, saying that how can I serve devotees properly when Krishna is, how will Krishna be pleased that you conducted a satsang? I'm not able to serve. Then I said, no, don't worry, I'll get the prasadam from outside. We'll order prasadam. Then she's like, no, do you think I can't cook? When did I tell you will not cook? No, you should have not ordered, conducted this week. You should have asked somebody else to do, or you should have postponed it next week. You don't, you have to see that we serve Krishna properly. When we are calling for a satsang, we should do it perfectly. I'm like, doing perfectly is important or doing some satsang is important? You only decide. Without satsang, 1 week is gone. So better let us. So what is happening here? In the whole discussion, we are holding each other's head and, pulling each other's hair, shouting at each other. But who is in the center here? Krishna, right? So we should make our lives like that. That is being Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious means everything related to Krishna. Everything related to Krishna. Wherever you see in the house, you should see Krishna only. Everywhere Krishna pictures, everywhere Krishna books, everywhere Krishna discussions, every friend circle you have is everybody's Krishna conscious devotee. Right now, my life is filled with Krishna conscious devotees. Wherever I go, they polluted me, I polluted them. Krishna is everywhere. So now I don't have a choice. Even if I want to go to non-Krishna conscious, like other day, I was telling my college friends, they are planning a reunion. They are planning a reunion somewhere in Dubai. They were like, we will sponsor the ticket, you come. They were telling others, we will sponsor the ticket, you come. Some people became rich. They said, we'll sponsor the ticket, let's all meet in Dubai. So some are flying from UK, some are flying from India, some are flying from, from US, and not with families, just us. Then I didn't say anything. I was just in the group. I was calm, I didn't even tell that I want to go. One fellow immediately wrote, Lakshman, you don't come because anyway you're Krishna conscious, you will not like it. When did I say I will come? So even before I reject, they only are rejecting me. That you are a useless fellow. You will not come here, and you will come here, you will not enjoy, you will not allow us to enjoy. So that's okay. So some of them I rejected, remaining people rejected me. So now I'm only surrounded by Krishna conscious devotees. So Krishna conscious life is good as long as we are surrounded by devotees. When we are not in association, Prabhupada and Matajis, then you suffer. then you suffer. When you're not in association, Krishna consciousness is very difficult to practice if you're not in association. How many felt somewhat of that?
100% Prabhuji, not somewhat.
చచ్చిపోతాం, అసలు చేయలేము. ఒక 3 రోజుల తర్వాత ఇట్లా జపమాల తిరగదు. You know how long is Brahma's day, right? 4.3 billion years. Our one mala will become 4.3 billion years. Hare Krishna కదలదు అసలు బీడు. గుంజితో ఒక్కొక్కటి పోతుంటది, right? 16 malas is very far. One mala will become such a painful thing if there is no association, right? So we are in a very awkward situation in the material world when we are not with association. But when we are with association of devotees, life is very good. Hari bol, right? So let's read further what Prabhupada is telling. So here Prabhupada is telling, the knower of the absolute truth is convinced with his awkward position in the material association. He knows that he is part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and that his position should not be in the material creation. He knows his real identity as part and parcel of the Supreme, who is eternal bliss and knowledge, and he realizes that somehow or the other he is entrapped in the material conception of life. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in devotional service to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. He therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally unattached to the activities of material senses. Please underline this from here. In his pure state of existence is a very important part of the paragraph. Till mercy of Lord, you can underline this. I'll read again. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in devotional service to the personality, Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. He therefore engages himself in activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally unattached to the activities of material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. He knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord. Consequently, he is not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy of the Lord. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one who knows absolute truth in 3 different features, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead Bhagavan, is called Tattvavit. And for he knows also his own factual position in relationship with the Supreme. Hare Krishna. So people, they try to enjoy the material world, they still cannot enjoy the material world. I'll tell you one example. It's a painful example, but something that happened in my own life is when we went to US, me and my wife, and we had 2 kids already by then. So my elder kid was 2.5 years old. My younger kid was like 6 months old, something like that. We went, and right after we went, my wife's parents, they lived in village most of the time in Mucharla near the Srisalam highway. So they told that they want to come to US. And I was like, we are very new here. How can we take care of them? Where will we take them? I'm still learning my car. I just got my license, right? And I'm worried, how to take them. And my family itself is 4, and they are another 2. So 6 people cannot fit into a US car. In Indian car, 16 people can fit in. But in US, only 5 people have to fit in, right? There has to be a, stroller car. What do you call that? The children ka thing. The car seat, especially for children.
Buggy.
Huh?
Child. The special seat, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, child seat, that thing in which you put your child and completely wrap him up, in all directions. So I had to keep those. And my wife, where will I keep my in-laws? Then I started doing planning that my mother-in-law will sit, and under her feet she'll keep Hriday, or under something, somehow escape the police people and go around, and because I can't afford a bigger SUV. I only have a like a old Camry car. That's what I bought there when I went. Old Camry. This is what Indians do when they go to US. They immediately buy a Toyota Camry or a Toyota Corolla, and because it's good in resale, right? Indian means old Toyota, old Camry, and then he'll sell it off, right? But anyway, so we did that, right? So my in-laws came, and they are very good people, very simple. From my mama was an agriculturist all his life. Just imagine, first time they were coming to US, right? And they were told where to go, right? We have our Andhra Pradesh and Telangana checklist of US, right? What is it? Empire State Building, Walmart, New York, Times Square. More than us, they know. Even in villages, ఇక్కడ యూఎస్ పోతున్నావా, ఎంపైర్ స్టేట్ పోయినావా అంటే ఓ ఏంటది ఏమన్నావు ఎంపైర్ స్టేట్ అట్లా అన్నమాట. దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ లిస్ట్, చెక్ లిస్ట్. ఇండియా యూఎస్ పోతే ఇవన్నీ చూసి రావాలి. సో దే ఆల్సో కేమ్ విత్ చెక్ లిస్ట్. So I said, okay, no, I'm going to take them. Even I have not seen. So let them go. We were living in Boston. So what happened when my father-in-law came, he went to a dentist just before coming to US because he had some jaw teeth problem, right? So when he came, his right cheek was like this big, like this. It was literally hanging like this, and his left cheek was normal. So as soon as I saw my father-in-law with that big cheek, my colors, literally my head went off. Why did you come when you have medical problem? Don't you know this is the most underdeveloped, pathetic country? Don't you know that there is medical insurance problem here? Don't you know that it's very expensive here? In India, you can get everything done, but in America, unfortunately, I call it very underdeveloped medically, but this is the problem. No insurance for the dependents. I don't know how many of you stayed there. No insurance. Practically you have to carry some travel insurance, and you have to pay and reimburse, and before even touching you, they'll charge $800, $1,000, like that, right? So like, what should I do with my father-in-law now? He came with this. He said, no, I brought my medicine because I removed my jaw teeth. So the swelling is there, it'll go away. So I felt okay, it's fine. Then after a few days, we saw that he is becoming weak. I was planning for his trip to New York and other places, but he was becoming weak. He said, no, I don't want to go. I'll have to go after some time. Then what we did, we sent them to Detroit in a flight, because in Detroit, my wife's cousins, they live. For many years they're living. Well-settled family. They're doctors. Both husband and wife are doctor. We didn't send them there because they're doctors. We just like that sent them because they wanted to meet the relatives. After going there, my wife's cousin, she called me. She said, don't you know that why did you bring them to US? Don't you know that there is a big severe problem? Yesterday he fainted in my house. I said, what happened? Why did he faint? He said, no, he fainted. And we took him to hospital. They got to know that he's in 3rd stage of jaw cancer. We were shocked, what's going on? Jaw cancer, and that too in the 3rd stage. And she immediately told, he's not going to survive. Maximum few weeks or few months. That's it. It's already spreading, way up. Then we were so much shocked. My wife was devastated. I was like in shock, what to do. Poor people. For the first time, they came out of their village, out of the state, and they came to America to see something. And they are going through this. So then they came back from Detroit. Then I drove them to New York, just because they have come here anyway, let them see what they were wanting to see. I asked him, do you want to see? He said, yes, I want to see. He's a simple village person. I said, Chustanamma. Okay, then I took him there. They saw the Statue of Liberty, whatever things. That 1 week I wrapped up everything that they had to see. 1 week, everything in New York, everything in Washington. I drove all the way till there, immediately made them take the flight and go to India. And then my wife also followed them. Immediately she also went back. Within, I think, 2.5, 3 months, he passed away. My father-in-law passed away in India, in Hyderabad. So we were just thinking, that when we think about it, even if you want to enjoy a little in this material world, how much suffering you have to go through. All that they did is they wanted to see a little bit of US, see a little bit of outside world. They have lived in a village for all along. Let us see, and immediately see how the material world does. And this is what material world does with everybody, Pravus and Matajis. When you want to enjoy this material world, it will hit you so badly that you get beaten up. Basically, this material life is getting beaten up. Expectations, desires unfulfilled, and get frustrated, completely frustrated, right? Even if you have 10 wives, you have 1 wife, or you have many relationships, or extramarital relationships, or marital relationships, or you have a good body, or a good looking body, or a bad looking body, or whatever that you have, you are going to suffer here. There is no doubt about it. Everybody suffers here. See, the chairman of Oracle, what is his name? Larry Ellison, right? I don't know, some of you might know his name. He's the one who has started Oracle, right? In Redwood Shores in San Francisco, between San Jose. He has this huge city that actually belongs to Oracle in a way, Redwood Shores. So many Oracle buildings, and that fellow he's famous for keeping different girlfriends. Every 3 months he has a new girlfriend. He dates models and big movie stars, right? And there is an Oracle Open World he does in San Francisco. Oracle Open World. I don't know if anyone of you attended that or heard about it. Entire one street of San Francisco is stopped because for 3 or 4 days because there is Oracle Open World. And all the people from around the world, all Oracle consultants or companies, they all come there. Huge. And this fellow comes with his 3 girlfriends on the stage, and it tells everybody, that this is open house of Oracle, and please go ahead and spend your time here. All the bookings are done, 5-star hotels, parties, all this is going on. And he's one of the richest person. Larry Ellison is one of the richest person in IT. And when he was interviewed, and they asked, what is the thing that makes you sleepless? He said, Bill Gates makes me sleepless because he's number 1 and I'm number 2, and I'm always in anxiety that when I become number 1, I might lose that position to him again. So just imagine, in spite of having so much from material enjoyment, cars, women, fame, wealth, power, everything, but still he's not enjoying this world. He's not enjoying this world. Like, he's a mini Hiranyakashipu. But if you see Hiranyakashipu in the past, right? Hiranyakashipu also wanted to enjoy the world. Hiranyakashipu. Hiranya means gold. Kashipu means bed, right? Women and gold is what he wanted to enjoy. But did he enjoy? He could not enjoy. His son Prahalad became a devotee. He got frustrated. His son would come and speak, his enemy's name in front of him all the time, right? And he was forced to kill his own son. Prahalad, Hiranyakashipu had many sons, by the way. A lot of people think Prahalad is the only son. Hiranyakashipu had many sons, but his favorite son was Prahalad. Why? Because Prahalad is so good-natured person. He's such a good-natured boy. He used to respect his father so much that in that respect, he got so attached to Prahalad, and Prahalad was a Krishna conscious devotee. And he could not enjoy. So, Prabhuji and Mataji, this entire material world is created in such a way that it increases your frustration, provided you become Krishna conscious. When you become Krishna conscious, when you say that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to God, number 1, Krishna is the only enjoyer. I enjoy when I serve Krishna. I also enjoy, but when I serve Krishna, I enjoy. Real enjoyment. And, everything material here has a reaction. The moment I perform any material activity, I get a result, fruitive, and immediately it is also going to give me a reaction. When you understand these things, you will not get into those kind of activities, and an intelligent person will become more happier serving Krishna. Right? That is what Lord Krishna is telling in this verse. And Karma Yoga is saying that in the previous verse he told you are not the doer, and now he is saying that now that you know that you are not the doer with all this knowledge, don't do things which will bring you back into this material world. Okay? Any questions, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Okay. We'll go to the next verse then. Please repeat after me. 3.29. Prakratir guna sammudha.
Prakratir guna sammudha.
Prakratir guna sammudha.
Prakratir guna sammudha.
Sajjante guna karmashu.
Sajjante guna karmashu.
Sajjante guna karmashu.
Sajjante guna karmashu.
Tan akritsna vidho mandan.
Tan akritsna vidho mandan.
Tan akritsna vidho mandan.
Tan akritsna vidho mandan.
Kritsna vinna vichalayet.
Krishna vinchayate.
Krishna vinna vichalayet.
Krishna vinna vichayate.
It's not Krishna, it's Krishna. Krishna with means one who is in factual knowledge. Okay. Translation. Please repeat after me. Bewildered by the modes of material nature.
Bewildered by the modes of the material nature.
The ignorant fully engage themselves.
The ignorant fully engage themselves
in material activities.
In material activities.
And become attached.
And
become attached.
But the wise should not unsettle them.
But
the wise should not unsettle them.
Although these duties are inferior.
Although these duties are inferior.
Due to the performer's lack of knowledge.
Due to the performer's lack of knowledge.
So Prabhuji, it's a very important thing, very practical thing Lord Krishna is telling here. He's saying that there are two classes of people, one who are Krishna conscious, one who are not. And people who are not Krishna conscious also are performing some activities, right? They are inferior activities. They are definitely inferior activities. But the wise people who are Krishna conscious should not go and tell them stop performing it. Should not unsettle them, right? Should not stop their endeavors. They should, in fact, slowly engage them in Krishna conscious activities. Like for example, Projan Mataji, there is there are so many material parties that happen in my home also, right? So many material, enjoy, big lights, floodlights, disco, ye wo laga ke. Now we are Krishna conscious devotees. Should we go there and tell them, stop this nonsense? What are you doing? This material enjoyment. Come here. Should we say like that? No. No, that's not going to work. It will not work. Definitely it will not work. Instead, what you should do? You should conduct something like Janmashtami. We all did Janmashtami, remember? It's already a few months. Big hall we booked and we brought everybody. More than 1,000 people came that day. 1,000 or 1,500 people came. And they all came and everybody had a good time because they were doing, their children were doing fancy dress, or some people came and sang, and we were making them recite some shlokas, right? 10 shlokas we made them recite. And there was a book competition. There is a fancy dress competition. There is a Julan. Remember Radha and Krishna and the Julan? They were coming and doing the Jula, and there was nice prasadam. Gulab jamuns were left out that day. That literally we were calling people and saying, "Ek, you have one more gulab jamun," right? I mean, security people had a feast that day, and Prasad Prabhu and Yogesh Prabhu and all struggled to bring the prasadam that day. somehow that big bhagonas, they brought from that place to here. I still remember. I was on the stage, but so much we did. So, but what we did is, we gave them an alternate enjoyment, right? We did not stop their enjoyment. We gave them an alternate enjoyment. That is what a Krishna conscious person or a wise person should do. Why many people in India became atheists? Is it that they were born atheists? No, they were not born atheists. Who are the people who created these atheists? The theists are the people with their fanaticism created the atheists. Remember that. When Brahmanas became frustrated with people enjoying materially, they went and shouted on those people more. They stopped them from coming into temples, saying that you will come and pollute the temple. They created so many rules that the normal people felt, it's better not to go to these Brahmanas because these people are so intolerant. They stayed outside the temple and they became atheists, right? That if religion is like this, I don't want that religion. If Brahmanas are like this, I don't want to become a Brahmana, or I'm not proud to be a Brahmana. So they completely became atheists, right? I have so many Brahmana friends, in my own circle, who are Brahmanas by birth from very good families, but they're core atheists now. Core atheists. The moment I say Krishna, they get agitated. They're Brahmanas from Brahminical background. If you call them to satsang, they'll run away. Like Usain Bolt, they'll run away. They can't even imagine that. My God, how can somebody teach about God? This is fanaticism. They're secular. Everything is same. They're more supporting Muslims and Christians than their own Sanatan Dharma followers, right? Why? Because of us only. We are responsible for that. Brahmanas are responsible for that. They have not tolerantly dealt with them. Right? So what we should do as Krishna conscious people, that is what Krishna is telling. You should not unsettle them. In fact, you should engage them in Krishna conscious activities. Right? That is called true intelligence. Like for example, having a good temple in our community is one such smart move. It's a very smart move. You have not told them to become religious, but you have kept a religious place in the community. So one day or the other, they'll come. Isn't it? One day or the other, they'll come. Even an atheist, one day he'll go through something, difficult, and he'll come and pray that, please, God, if you are there, please help me. That much he'll do. So that's a very good way of going forward. So keeping temple. That is why the great kings in the past in India, they did not construct clubhouses. They constructed temples. Krishna Deva Raya, Mughals, all these great, not one Mughals. What is that? Krishna Deva. What is that? Dravidas. Cholas.
So many Cholas.
So many temples they constructed because they created a God-conscious atmosphere. Mughals wanted to destroy that. They came and destroyed the temple. Left, right, and center. They destroyed our temples. Right? Because they knew that is how they can break the culture. And now what we are doing for the first time after 70 years of independence, or maybe 200 years of British rule, for the first time, India is investing on reviving its temples, on reviving its dhams, right? Which is a very big move. Telling you that is like a core activity that will ultimately bring back the Sanatana Dharma. Just a matter of time. Just make your festivals vibrant. Just make your temples vibrant. Everything will come back. So don't need to unsettle people. Give them an opportunity to serve. That is what you should do. Okay. Yes. See, one person I remember, he never believed in much in Krishna consciousness or God consciousness. But we gave him one service. We told him, Prabhuji, can you serve prasadam? You like Annadanam, right? You like philanthropical work. Just come and serve prasadam. So he came and he stood there, and it was a big festival. 500 people he was serving prasadam. And we told him after some time that, Prabhuji, while you are serving prasadam, can you tell Hare Krishna and serve? Because it's Krishna prasadam, na? Just tell Hare Krishna and serve. He said, okay, I'll tell Hare Krishna. He developed taste for chanting Hare Krishna. You know, when you say every time, every scoop, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and after 500 people, you know, he was saying Hare Krishna, Prabhu. He became absolutely fine. Before that, he was not ready to chant, right? Now he suddenly started chanting. So rather than becoming ours to Krishna consciousness, you can become favorable. See, there is one devotee, one foreign incident that happened in New Vrindavan in Pennsylvania. Is we were serving prasadam in a temple, New Vrindavan temple. And one brahmachari was in charge of the prasadam serving, right? And we were serving khichdi and paneer sabzi. Khichdi and paneer sabzi. That's what we were serving that day. Somebody is speaking, I just mute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we were serving khichdi and paneer sabzi. That and gulab jamun. Of course, gulab jamun cannot be removed. It is always there. So we were serving the paneer sabzi, and the paneer chunks were like this big, you know, like big chunks of paneer was being served. So one American boy, he was coming again and again. In the same line, he was coming again and again. You know, he went, he took some prasadam. Then again he came back. This time he doesn't want khichdi. He wants paneer sabzi. So the person serving there, he was seeing that this American boy is coming again and again and again and again. Every time he's coming, Prabhuji, thoda paneer sabzi. Prabhuji, thoda paneer sabzi. He wants more paneer in the sabzi. Now again, not just sabzi. He wants more paneer in the sabzi. So then the brahmachari in charge there, he got a little angry. He called that person, that American boy. He told, sir, if you are having all the paneer, then what will others have? Right? Everybody should get fair bit of their prasadam. If you take so much paneer, then the only without sabzi, without paneer will go to others. So, you know, you should not do that like that. Like that he told. Immediately that American boy, you know, he said, I'm sorry. Then he told something that literally melted the heart of the brahmachari. Literally, he started crying. Brahmachari literally had tears. You know what that American boy told? He told, Prabhuji, earlier I used to eat beef. And I used to eat chunks and chunks of beef, you know, and I eat like, I like eating meat like that. And after coming to Krishna consciousness, I have stopped eating beef, but I want to eat something that feels familiar, you know, makes me feel that I'm eating something like that. I'm missing that. I'm missing eating the chunks and chunks of meat. So now this paneer that you are giving me is fried paneer. You know, it almost makes me feel that I'm eating. But I know that I'm eating prasadam, and I know that I'm not harming anybody. I know that I'm not eating beef. I'm eating something nice. So I don't know what to do. Whenever I come to temple once in a week, whenever you serve prasadam, and especially paneer, I want to eat more and more, because by doing so, my craving for eating that decreases. Like that I told. Immediately brahmachari felt so much affected, and he felt so bad that I judged this person. You know, externally I judged him wrong. I felt that he is eating paneer because he likes paneer and he's taking other people's share. Immediately that brahmachari said, Prabhu, you sit down here. And he went to kitchen, and one bowl filled with paneer, you know, like literally paneer chunks, nicely fried paneer chunks. He came and he gave it to him. Said, Prabhu, you eat as much as you want. And if you want more, you tell me. We'll again cook, but we'll serve you. You know, whenever you come to temple, you don't have to stand in the prasadam line. You directly come to me and tell, this is what you want, I'll make it for you. Because the devotee understood that how much a person struggles in this material world to get over his past habits. Isn't it? We all should understand, Prabhuji and Matajis, that everybody material, we are also like us only. We were also like them only. But due to devotee association, we are changing our habits. And when we see that others are struggling, we should not see faults in them. Instead, we should help them. Instead, we should help them come over it. Right? We should see with compassion. We should have compassion for others who are struggling. How can we bring them to Krishna consciousness? And there is only one way to bring people to Krishna consciousness, and that is through selfless service. We should do selfless service, not philosophy. You make them sit and hear a class, they will not become a devotee. You speak verses, Sanskrit, nothing will make them a devotee. But if you selflessly serve them, selflessly serve. Selfless means what? Without expectation, without any anticipation. You serve them, they will become devotees, because Krishna will appear in their hearts and please them to come towards Krishna consciousness. So same way here, Lord Krishna is telling in Karma Yoga, Krishna is explaining that you are doing good karma, you are doing highest karma, but if people are doing lowest karma, inferior things, don't unsettle them. Don't go and make them feel that they are bad. Instead, engage them in something good, like that. Right? So let's read the purport here. Please focus as I read the purport. Persons who are unknowledgeable falsely identify with gross material consciousness and are full of material designations. This body is a gift of the material nature, and one who is too much attached to the bodily consciousness is called mandha, manda buddhi, they say, right? Mandha, or a lazy person without understanding of spirit soul. Ignorant men think of the body as a self. They accept bodily connections with others as kinsmanship. The land in which the body is obtained is their object of worship, and they consider the formalities of religious rituals to be ends in themselves. Social work, nationalism, altruism, and some of the activities of such materially designated persons. Under the spell of such designations, they're always busy in the material field. For them, spiritual realization is a myth, and so they are not interested. Those who are enlightened in spiritual life, however, should not try to agitate such materially engrossed persons. Better to prosecute one's own spiritual activities silently. Such bewildered persons may be engaged in such primary moral principles of life as non-violence and similar materially benevolent work. Men who are ignorant cannot appreciate activities in Krishna consciousness, and therefore Lord Krishna advises us not to disturb them and simply waste valuable time. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the acts of Krishna consciousness. They are absolutely necessary for human being. Hare Krishna. Right? So here, Lord Krishna is telling that we should not disturb the materially conditioned people. And going and engaging them is dangerous for us. But devotees, what they do, they even take the risk of going there and bringing them to Krishna consciousness. But how? Not by seeing faults in them, whereas seeing good in them and trying to engage them. Like one Mataji, she was giving recently, I forgot her name in our group. Is it you, Shravanti Mataji? I'm forgetting. That one of you told that you are distributing, you are making prashadam, you are making food for COVID infected families in Avatar. Who is that, Mataji?
No, Mataji.
We are also doing Prabhuji.
Many are doing Prabhuji, not only me. There are many people.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, wonderful. That's a great service, right? And who was I talking to? I just replied that wonderful service, Mataji, but just do one more thing, make prashadam, make that food into prashadam and give it as prashadam, right?
Okay.
So whatever you're doing, you can as well, offer it to Krishna and let the prashadam go to each house, right? Because food is food, prashadam is prashadam. Both are good, but prashadam is even higher good, right? So by doing so, what will happen? Their spiritual life will start. Suddenly their interest towards spirituality will increase. Yes, Mataji. Yeah, you want to say something?
No, Prabhuji. We will do Prabhuji. We will do like that only.
So whatever you are making, make it in such a way you can offer it to Krishna in your house. Little small, it takes 10 minutes to offer. And don't think that Krishna is not eating. Krishna obviously is eating, So in temple also we offer so many things to Krishna, right? In temple, if they're offering, you can also offer in your home. Just make it, offer it to Krishna. Of course, we can't offer meat, eggs, things made with onion and garlic. We can't. But you can make a lot of things without it. So nicely make it, offer it to Krishna, then pack it, then give it to those families. You will be amazed to see that their spiritual journey will start. And that's a great service to Krishna. And actually, that's greatest service, because anybody who takes prasadam, anybody who eats prasadam, even once in life, will get human birth again. Just imagine, will get human birth again. The next birth, they will be humans. Even though they have done so much bad, they actually are eligible to take birth like a dog or a pig, but they will not. They will get another human birth just because some devotee gave them prasadam. So prasadam is very powerful. Prabhu ke sakshat darshan, prasada, right? It's very, very potent. And in fact, in all sampradayas, all Vaishnava sampradayas, devotees are first served prasadam. Right? I went to this, what is it, Chinnajit Swami Ashram. They made us eat prasadams right in the temple, inside the temple, sitting in front of the deities. Everybody have whatever, the Dron Prasad. Everybody have that. Then the next activity. So giving prasada is very, very much part of our culture, and we should not stop it. And when we get an opportunity to serve prasadam to others, serve food to others, let that food be prasadam. Sometimes when there is anything left in the house, some chunks that I can give it to others, we can even take it in the car. And if somebody comes for begging near Gachibowli signal, instead of giving money, give some prasad. Take that and give it to them. They'll eat that. And by eating that, their spiritual life gets started. They'll get a human birth again. We should have that faith. We should have that faith, right? Okay. So we'll go to and one more thing that has been discussed in the purport, Prabhuji, is that things like nationalism, my country is my worshipable land. Well, for you, India is a worshipable land. For somebody else, Somalia is a worshipable land. For somebody else, Bhutan is a worshipable land. But that mentality of saying my land is the best is like the dog's mentality, which says my street is my street. Is that it? Gali ka kutta. That this street is mine. Anybody who enters the street will bark, then bite that fellow. That mentality is not right. Patriotism is not about protecting borders. Patriotism is about understanding the value of the borders. Why am I protecting India? That should be more important, and automatically it will protect India. Why am I protecting India? I am protecting India because India has the greatest spiritual culture. I am protecting India because I want this culture to be safeguarded so it can be sent to the whole world. Right? That aspect is very, very important. Then you protect India as a soldier. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai everybody. Right? But then if you are simply standing there holding a gun saying, ye area mera hai, wo area tumhara hai, that is doggish mentality. Right? And actually in Indian army, they are told spiritual principles. I don't know how many of you know this, but there was a major, Prabhuji, army major. He was part of our satsang previously. He was telling me that soldiers are taught that the body and soul aspect, and there are so many things from Bhagavad Gita they are taught. And when some other soldier leaves his body on the battlefield, what are the mantras they have to chant? What is the right prayer that to chant? That is also taught. So they are told why India is great also to some extent, but it should happen more. Then that Major Pro was telling me that next time I meet soldiers, I want to tell what they are protecting. Because the protection then becomes Krishna conscious service also. Right? So Prabhuji and Mati, any philanthropy we are doing, any Annadanam, Vastradanam, anything we are doing, Godanam, or or we are doing any activity like patriotism, everything should have Krishna in it. When you include Krishna in it, it becomes bhakti, and it has more meaning to it. But if we remove Krishna from that, everything just becomes name and fame. Like all philanthropy becomes name and fame. That's all. And when people praise you, you will do more. When people don't praise you, you're not motivated to do more. You just do it once, right? Once one person donated 50,000 crores. Okay, what happened to him now? In the last 5 years, he never donated again. Why? Because at one time he got the feedback, and after that he felt that he already got that rasa. Oh, I have got recognition that I am a great philanthropist. Then he is not willing to serve anymore, isn't it? But a Krishna conscious devotee is continuously serving. Temples are continuously giving prasadam. Krishna conscious devotee continuously conducting satsangs, continuously serving people, continuously distributing prasadam. It should be a continuous activity. And continuity comes where Krishna is there. Wherever Krishna is not there, continuity is impossible. It is not doable. Okay. Did you all understand, Prabhuji, what we discussed? Any questions, thoughts?
Why is it, Prabhuji, why is it mentioned that the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord?
That's because Krishna is very protective about his devotees. He says that don't go to non-devotee association. Be careful. But devotees want to please Krishna, because when Krishna sees new, what do you call that? His lost children are coming back to him, he becomes more pleased. So devotees take more risk. They go and to please Krishna, they'll go to the extent of even risking their spiritual life.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Like one example is Swayam Ramanujacharya, right? When he was told Sriman Narayana Mantram, he was told, don't tell this to anyone. If you tell this to anyone, I think it's Goshti Purna, I think he told him that, don't tell this to anyone. This is secret only for Vaishnavas. Anybody who hears this mantra will go back home back to Godhead. So make sure that, you don't tell this to anyone. It's a secret mantra. And what did Ramanujacharya do? He went on to the, top of the hill and he shouted, everybody in the town he called, he said, Om Sriman Narayana. Everybody start chanting this, because anybody who chants this will go back to Krishna. And immediately his guru came and said, nonsense, I told you not to tell anyone. How can you go and tell anyone? Now you'll go to hell. Do you realize that? He said, there is no Gurudev. If me going to hell will make all these people go back to Vishnu, that is fine. That is fine. And then his guru actually fell at his feet. He said, you are a better Vaishnava than me. I was so selfish. You risked your entire spiritual life and you gave this mantra to everybody. That is called compassion of a devotee. So they are more compassionate than God also. God gave this mantra to some people. Krishna devotees are going and giving this to the whole world. Like Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It's a Maha Mantra. How many of us had known this? Otherwise, if Prabhupada would not have come into our lives, nobody would have known. But Prabhupada not only gave it in India, he gave it to the whole world. Without any differentiation, he gave it to the whole world. Right? Okay. We'll go to the, what is the time? Okay. Yeah. 3.30. Please repeat after me. Mai sarvani karmani.
Mai sarvani
Karmani.
Mai sarvani karmani.
Mai sarvani karmani.
Sanyasyadhyatma chetasa.
Sanyasyadhyatma
Sanyasyadhyatma
Chetasa.
Nirashir nirmamo bhutva.
Nirashir
nirmamo bhutva. Yudyasva vigata jvara.
Yudhyasva
vigata jvara. Translation. Please repeat after me. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works onto me,
Surrendering all your works unto me,
with full knowledge of me,
with full knowledge of me,
without desires for profit,
without desires for profit,
with no claims to proprietorship,
no claims to proprietorship,
and free from lethargy, fight. Right? Now Lord Krishna is telling here, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works onto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, no claims of proprietorship, free from lethargy, fight. Right? So Krishna consciousness is not that people become dull-headed. As soon as they okay Prabhuji, satsang हो गया, अब जाके सोएंगे. No, ऐसा नहीं है. सत्संग होने के बाद काम करेंगे. क्या काम करेंगे? जो सीखा है सभी को बताएंगे. Whatever you learned, we'll tell others and we'll apply in our lives, and we'll do some Krishna conscious activities. Right? We'll take up some service in the local temple. We'll take up some services in the satsang. We will conduct satsang. We will facilitate satsang. We'll work on publicity of this knowledge to others. We'll help in printing of books. We'll help in distribution of books. So much can be done, isn't it? The sky is the limit when you want to serve God. So here Lord Krishna is telling, Now that you have get my full knowledge, get the right understanding, and then fight. Fight means what? Execute. And by the way, without any desire for profit. Meaning what? Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, hey Arjuna, you are not doing the war because Draupadi was disrobed. You are not doing the war because your mother was attempted to be killed. You are not doing the war because somebody snatched away your kingdom. You are not doing the war because your elder brother Bhima was poisoned to death. You are not doing the war because all of you were insulted in the Rajya Sabha. You are not doing the war because injustice was done to you. Because if you are going to do the war for all these things, that's called revenge. That is not dharma. That's called revenge. You are doing the war because you are going to establish dharma. What is that dharma? That any person who engages in all these activities has to be punished. That is dharma. Whether he is your relative, whether he is your guru, whether he is your shishya, whether he is your known person in society or famous person, doesn't matter. You are going to do what is right. And because I am telling you, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. I am telling you, take shelter of me. Aham Tvaram Papebhyo Mokshashyami Masucha. I will remove from all the sin from it, execute, fight. So that is Krishna's, he's telling in third chapter also, that go ahead and fight, but without any desire for profit. Right? Did you all understand this part? Verse, Prabhuji and Matajis? Very important, right? You don't do fight because you like fighting or you want to take revenge. Dharma is not followed because it's convenient for you or you like doing it. Dharma is followed because that is the order of God. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam, Bhagavatam says. And who is telling this? Dharmaraj, Yamadharmaraj is telling. Dharma is established by sakshat Swayam Krishna. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Right? And you and me cannot decide what is dharma. Dharma is already established. We have to follow that dharma. Yes. Hare Krishna. So we'll read once again I'll read the translation here. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works onto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from the bondage, free from lethargy. Lethargy, another very dangerous thing in spiritual life. Abba, రేపు చేస్తానులేండి. Chanting తర్వాత చేసుకుంటలేండి. I'll do chanting later. I'll do, I think satsang I'll go next week, this week. Lethargy, very dangerous. Are you lethargic in office? What will happen if you're lethargic in office? Or rather, what will you do if your subordinate is lethargic? But the class week there, lethargy is bad. Don't you know? You're getting paid. Your salary is being given. You expect you to work, all that, right? But what happens when it comes to satsang? Lethargy. Probably. Very dangerous, right? So we should follow the same principle that we are following in material life more diligently in spiritual life. Then we'll make progress. Okay, let's go to the purport. Prabhupada is going to be heavy when it's a lethargy. Let us see what Prabhupada is saying. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Please underline from the this verse until the 5th line or something, desires of the Lord. Okay, we'll read it now. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties if he is in military discipline. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna. Because that is the constitutional position of the living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. It's a very, very important statement, Prajan Matajis. Please underline this part. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation with the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord, right? So very, very important. What does this mean? Our Sanatana Dharma, eternal constitutional position means Sanatana Dharma, right? Sanatana, eternal constitutional position, Dharma. Our Sanatana Dharma is what? To serve the Lord is our constitutional position. Simple. See, these days, unfortunately, even in the name of Hinduism or Hindutva, people are talking about Sanatana Dharma, but they don't know what is Sanatana Dharma. They don't know what is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is not saying that I'm a Hindu. Sanatan Dharma is not putting a tilak. Sanatan Dharma doesn't mean you wear a dhoti kurta. Sanatan Dharma doesn't mean you fight for temples. No, Sanatan Dharma means to serve Krishna. When you serve Krishna, everything else will fall into place. Everything else will fall into place. All this dress, the externals, the puja, everything will happen. But fundamentally serve Krishna. When we say that we are Sanatan Dharma followers in India, that means that we are serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Sanatan Dharma, right? And everything else, the culture that is needed to follow will automatically come into place. But a lot of these people are fanatics. They are not. I've spoken to some RSS people, or I'm not saying all RSS like that. I'm just saying I'm not saying all Bajrang Bala like that, or all other institutions are like that. They are very good gurus. Actually, if you see the gurus, the people who established RSS and the Bajrang Dal and all, they are good devotees. They are very good devotees. But somewhere down the line, that knowledge is not propagated. The knowledge is not propagated. Bhagavad Gita knowledge has to be given to every person who claims to say that I'm following Sanatan Dharma. Are you following me, Projan Matajis? It's a very important thing. Otherwise, what is the difference between us and others? If we are saying we are following the Sanatan Dharma, then we should know what is the meaning of Sanatan Dharma and what does it mean to say that I'm a follower of Sanatan Dharma, right? And then it's perfect. Knowledge with power never leads to violence. Proper knowledge with power will never lead to violence. But without knowledge, power can lead to violence. How many agree with this? Yes. When you have too much power, but you don't have knowledge, there is what is the dialogue in Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility, something like that, right? I saw that movie. Great power comes great responsibility. Yes, it comes with power, right? So biggest power that we have is this tongue. Biggest power. We speak and you can change lives. So then that also means that you should have something inside here to speak from here. If you have nothing here, then you speak nonsense, right? A fool is not known until he speaks. Prabhupada told once. A fool is not known until he speaks. Like there are so many gurus, big daddies, they sit like this. Everybody serving them until he speaks. The moment he speaks, the entire fool will come out. They'll not speak much. They'll say, just remain calm and observe yourself from within and you'll experience the God, which is me only. And there are fools who will go to that institution, sit there also. But until they speak, the moment they speak, then you can catch, this fellow, he's a pakka pakandi, cheater. He's become a guru now. He's trying to cheat people until he speaks, right? So we should be very, very careful with such kind of people. And we should follow the people who follow, where is it? Scripture. Read from scripture, learn the scripture. Don't try to make your own scripture. First read what is given. Ganesh ji gave us Bhagavad Gita. He wrote it down. So we should, if we respect Ganesh ji, we should learn Bhagavad Gita, right? So in this verse, once again, in this verse here in the first part of the portion, Prabhupada is explaining the position of living entity is to become a subordinate. Subordinate doesn't mean, we suffer. Being a servant of God, we actually enjoy more. Without being a servant of God, we can't really enjoy more. Okay. So let's go further. What else Prabhupada is saying? Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were a military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the good will of the Supreme Lord and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Lord without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetas. Nirashi means that one has to act on the order of the master, but not expect fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one who has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purport of Mai or onto me. And when, this also you can underline till the end, and when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, Certainly, he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called nirmama, or nothing is mine. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration of so many kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. And in this way, one may become vigata jwara, or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. Okay, 1 minute. Just 1 minute. I have to take this call. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Father booster dose ఇప్పుడు ఇయట్లే బ్రోజీ, కొన్ని రోజుల తర్వాత ఇస్తాం. యా మదర్ అయిపోయింది బ్రోజీ. యా సరే సరే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ బ్రోజీ. మన దగ్గర అది ఐడియా ఉందా సార్? ఐడియా ఉంది బ్రోజీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ. హరే కృష్ణ. థ్యాంక్ యూ బ్రోజీ. హరే కృష్ణ. Can you see who is calling? Raju, security head of Avatar. Now he's a security head in Krishi. So he's personally taking care of me and my family and so many things. He keeps calling in. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah. So did everybody understand this discussion here, Prabhujis, Matajis? Any questions here?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. If you're not going to ask questions, then I'll ask questions.
All verses are very similar, Prabhuji.
Huh?
All verses seem to be very, very similar. Actually.
Yes. But Krishna is telling it because we are not listening. Again and again is repeating. Once somebody went and told Prabhupada, every time you tell we are not this body, we are not. How many times you will tell that? Prabhupada told, because you're not understanding that you're not the body. I'm telling again and again. Right? That is the fundamental of, yeah.
Prabhuji, one offline topic. In your society, I think yesterday you had that cow, right? So maybe next year we will plan for Avatar also. That similar, because I really miss
it. Happened.
Already they have conducted Mataji.
Mataji, that cow person came to Avatar only last year. We took his number and called him to Krishi. He was supposed to be in Avatar.
This year we did not have in Avatar, to my knowledge.
No, in Avatar he came at 12 o'clock.
We met. I went and met.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe he came a little later.
He came.
Yeah, we need somebody to take that initiative. That's all. Last year, the security head and the temple people, I think they all took the initiative, and they called that person. Maybe this year people are not that enthusiastic. They realized it later after seeing some pictures. It's a question of prestige now. అన్ని కమ్యూనిటీలు తిరిగి మా కమ్యూనిటీలో అవలేదా, తీసుకురండి ఇక్కడ. It became another. Anyway, whatever, it is a good thing that cow and bull came.
Okay.
Yeah. But please give more than 10 rupees. Next time when you go to the cow or bull, don't take 10 rupee notes, take 100 rupee notes. I felt so sad, last time when it came in Avatar, hardly 3 people from each block came. So 3 into 10 is 30 people came. And everybody got a standard 10 rupee note. I'm like, why like that? And one Mataji, she was like literally in tears. The cow crossed the clubhouse. It was near block 7 or something. That Mataji was running from block 1 through block 5, and she came to the clubhouse. All the way she ran. వచ్చిందండి, అయ్యో ఆవండి, వచ్చింది, దండం పెట్టి మొత్తం అంత చేసి 10 రూపాయలు ఇచ్చిపోయింది. అది what are you doing? I mean, come on, be a little considerate. 10 rupees mein kya milta hai? I know, the grass that I purchase, more than 1,000 rupees a day for this much grass, right? For 10 rupees, nothing that fellow will be able to feed. So even they'll be encouraged to, actually I told that fellow that next time onward, do a thing, get some grass along with you. Get some, a pile of origadde or something like that. And you tell people that, you pay 50 rupees for this much grass and feed the cow. At least that way you'll get some money, and the grass also will eat something. The cow also will eat something. I suggested him, I don't know what he'll do.
Very good idea, Prabhuji.
నిజంగా బ్రోజీ, మరీ అసలు ఎంత కంజూస్తానని చూస్తారంటే ఆవు దగ్గర నాకు అర్థం కాదు. అరే ఏమొస్తుందో ఆ 10 రూపాయలది ఒక ఏందది దట్ హస్ బికమ్ లైక్ అ ritual, the 10 rupee note for a cow. Arey, you can do a lot. You're owning 1.5 crore flats there, just go and give 100 rupees, Baba, for that cow. That fellow was asking me, donate me a bull or a cow next year. I told him I'll go to his house, I'll see what he's doing with the bull, then I'll give. I want to make sure he's taking care. Anyway, so yeah, so where did we go there? I don't know, I forgot. So those persons who execute duty according to, so this is the next sloka, right? Yes, 3.31. Please repeat after me. Ye me mantam idam nityam.
Ye me
matam idam nityam.
Ede matam idam nityam.
Ye me matam idam nityam.
Anustisthani manava.
Anutishtanti manavaha.
Shraddhavanto anasuyanto.
Shraddhavanto anasuyanto.
Shraddhavanto anasuyanto.
Shraddhavanto anasuyanto.
Muchyante te api karmabhi.
Muchyante api karmabhi.
Muchyante te api karmabhi.
Muchyante te api karmabhi.
Yeah, whenever you see a comma like this in front of that, consider that you have to add a. Right? This is P, but it is api. If you go down and see, it has become api, API. Okay, like that. And whenever you see a bar on top of any alphabet, you have to stretch that. Like anasuyanto. It is anasuyanto. Right? In English, they are struggling to put the Sanskrit. That is a problem. So, these are some indications. Yeah. Okay, translation. Those persons who execute their duties.
Those persons who execute their duties.
According to my injunctions.
According to my injunctions.
And who follow these teachings faithfully.
And who follow this teaching faithfully.
Without envy.
Without envy.
Become free from the bondage of fruitive actions.
Become free from bondage of fruitive actions.
Now Lord Krishna is concluding on Karma Yoga. He is basically saying that one is do the things which I am telling, and by doing so, you will not have bondage. That is what he's saying, right? So he started Karma Yoga. He said you have to do it as a duty. Then he said do it without expecting fruitive results. Then he said if you set an example for outside people by doing the right thing. And then he said, doing it in service of God is the highest. And then finally he said, follow my orders. And now he's saying by doing so, by following his duty according to my injunctions, that is through the scriptures injunctions, then what happens? He is freed from bondage. He is freed from bondage. He will not be attached to it. He will not be disappointed. He'll never be unhappy. He'll never be unhappy. People who are giving are never unhappy. People who are taking are always unhappy. How many agree with this? People who are giving are never unhappy because they are always in the mood of giving. But people who are taking have an expectation to get something, right? So they'll always be frustrated. Yeah. So here we have to follow the injunctions of the Shastra to be always happy and never get attached to that activity. Purport. The injunction of the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, is the essence of all Vedic wisdom and therefore is eternally true without exception. As the Vedas are eternal, so this truth of Krishna consciousness is also eternal. One should have firm faith in this injunction without envying the Lord. There are many philosophers who write comments on Bhagavad Gita but have no faith in Krishna. They will never be liberated from the bondage of fruitive action. But an ordinary man with firm faith in the eternal injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated from the bondage of the law of karma. In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunctions of the Lord, but because he is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. Please repeat, please underline this in the beginning till the end. This is a very important section. It's especially Prabhupada is speaking to all of us. He's saying in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge all injunctions of the Lord. Meaning it's very difficult, provision Mataji, for all of us to follow the principles of religion. It's very difficult. If somebody says, don't eat onion garlic, don't, drink, don't eat this, don't eat that, get up early in the morning, do your chanting. It's very difficult because that is not something that Kali Yuga is promoting. But what is Prabhupada saying? Because one is not resentful of this principle. Meaning, what is it saying? Okay, you are not able to do it, but at least you're not disrespecting it. I am not able to do it, but others are doing, I have respect for them. I am not disrespecting it. You're not resentful of this principle and works. And another thing, what it does, he works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness. Meaning, I am trying my best. I'm trying my best to follow. I'm trying my best to continue. No matter what happens, I'm going to continue in the satsangs. I'm going to continue in my principles. I will put baby steps one after the other, right? Nobody in the satsang is greater than anybody. One person is following today, other person will follow tomorrow. We are all in a journey. Just because somebody is following these things doesn't mean he's senior, because there are many more things to follow. Right? We are always lagging behind in terms of what we have to follow as per scriptural injunctions. But everybody is going through his own journey. Right? So when he sincerely does without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. That is what he's saying, right? Prabhuji and Matajis, if we are in the bus, we will go to the destination. Perfect, isn't it? If we are in the hospital, we will get treatment, isn't it? If we are in the school, eventually we will become knowledgeable, isn't it? If we are in satsang, eventually we will become pure. We just have to be. If you go outside, then there is no hope. But if you are inside, there is hope someday. Someday that purity will come. Okay, Prabhu, now I am getting very bad thoughts. I don't think I can stop eating this. I don't think I can. That's okay. Be in the satsang. Right? I cannot do that. I cannot do that. Okay, be in the hospital. You get treatment. Right? You just be in the hospital, get treatment. In the same way, be in the right association of good people. Goodness will automatically come into your lives. Yeah. Okay, we'll do this one more verse and we'll stop it. Okay. I just want the theme to end. 3.32. Please repeat after me. Yetvi etad abhyashuto yanto. Yetvi etad abhyashuyo yanto.
Yetvi etad abhyasuyanto.
Abhyashuyanto. Yes. Yetvi etad abhyashuyanto.
Yetvi etad abhyasuyanto.
Nanu tisthanti me matam.
Nano tistanti me matam.
Nanu tisthanti me matam.
Nano tistanti me matam.
Sarvajnana vimudham stan.
Sarvajnana vimudham stan.
Sarvajnana vimudham stan.
Sarvajnana vimudham stan.
Vidhinashtan achetasa.
Vidhinasthana achetasa.
Vidhinashtan achetasa.
Vidhinasthana achetasa.
Please repeat after me. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Right? Now Krishna spoke about the people who follow him. That if you follow this, you will achieve perfection. You will be happy. But people who reject scriptures, excuse me 1 minute. But people who reject scriptures, people who reject Shastra, people who reject knowledge of God, there is no hope for them. All their endeavors for perfection will be ruined. Meaning, whatever materially they want to be happy, they'll never be happy. Whatever they want to achieve, ultimately people want what? Good relationships. None of the relationship will be good. Prabhuji Mataji, in satsang society, I'll tell you, you will develop such beautiful relationships over a period of time that everybody will pray for you, everybody will be there for you automatically. But outside relationships, materially motivated relationships, small misunderstanding, people will leave you. After years and years of relationship, you lose friends, you lose relatives, you lose So many. But in satsang, you never lose anybody. You never lose anybody because Krishna is the center. You should remember that. I'm not saying outside people are not that good. I'm saying because Krishna is not there, it is vulnerable for breakage anytime. That is why people who are not practicing Krishna consciousness or bhakti or spiritual life will never feel that happiness in life. Because whatever endeavor they make for finding happiness, it will be ruined. Krishna is telling that. It's not my words. Ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Meaning people are not following Shastra, people are not trying to become Krishna conscious or being in Krishna conscious, will never be happy. We're not saying they're bad. They are good people, but they're misguided but they'll never be happy. Did you all follow what Lord Krishna is telling Prabhupada Mataji? So if we want our children to be happy, what we should do? We should give them some positive vibes towards Krishna consciousness. Don't try to teach them shlokas. I mean, you can teach them. Don't try to make them, like sit in satsang. That's also not needed. Give them an impression that devotees are good people. That's all you need to do. Devotees are good people. Give them that impression. Someday in their life, they will join satsang. We don't need to force them now. Devotee, అరే సత్సంగ్ అంటే వెళ్ళాలి, ప్రసాదం బాగుంటది, నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ వస్తారు, right? For our children, favorable disposition towards devotees is more important than making them follow the principles that we are trying to follow. Of course, as far as food is concerned, as far as culture is concerned, being respectful is concerned, that we should teach our children, right? Don't eat things which are in mode of ignorance. Don't eat things which are going to affect your health. Be respectful to everybody, including devotees, whoever comes to home. Take up some services in temple, little things that you can do. Like in the satsang, when all the elders are sitting, young children can start serving prasadam. That you can tell, come on, let's serve together. Children will actually come forward and do it. Engage them in good activities and they'll become favorable. Otherwise, Prabhupada and Matajis, no matter what education you give them, no matter which country they'll go, they will suffer. They'll never find that happiness. Because all their endeavors to find happiness will be ruined, as explained by Lord Krishna. Yeah, purport. The flaw of not being Krishna conscious is clearly stated here, as we just discussed. No? Yeah. As there is punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Executive Head, so there is certainly punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A disobedient person, however great he may be, is ignorant of his own self and of the Supreme Brahman, Paramatma, and the personality of Godhead. Due to a vacant heart, therefore, there is no hope of perfection of life for him. Right? There is no hope. Simple. If you are not cooperating with nature, what happens, Prabhupada and Mataji, if you're not cooperating with nature? If you're not cooperating with nature, nature will fight back. Today, people are talking about global warming. They're talking about so many things. Why? Because nature is fighting back. You did nonsense with me, so you're going to face it. Nature is what? Nature is Prakriti, Durga. Right? Durga is nature. Devi Shakti antam kada? That is nature. If you fiddle with the nature, then nature is going to give you back. Same way, and who is Durga following? Who is Prakriti following? Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya adhyakshena Prakriti suyate sa characharam hetunanena kamanteya jagad viparivartate. He's telling, according to my instruction, Prakriti is functioning. So if you are going against the nature, Prabhupada and Mataji, indirectly you are going against the will of God. Okay? Very simple. See, the problem is United Nations or World Health Organization is not using the word Krishna or not using the word God. But actually, if they use the word God, that will make it more authentic. What we should not do, they are telling, but why we should not do, they are not telling. We should not do because we are going against the nature. And nature is designed by whom? By Krishna, by God. God is the one who created the nature. So if you do things which are not in line with the nature, you will affect yourself. Right? You will. But unfortunately, people are so spiritually lazy in Kali Yuga, Prabhupada and Matajis, that in spite of knowing it is not good, they are still doing it. They're still doing it. Right? For example, I'll tell you one thing, I wanted to suggest, if you are all okay, not for the Amphitheater satsang, But the satsangs that we are having in the houses, let us use steel plates. I'll tell you why. Because when you put the hot things on that paper plates, which are coated with that cover, that is direct, invitation for cancer. Those chemicals with which it is made, and we don't really clean and do anything, right? The direct invitation, right? And how much time does it take to clean our own plate? Actually, I already have 60 plates. I had bought them, and in our other satsang in the Sunday evenings where we used to do that. They're also, little lethargy, endukandi padeste ayipotini pade. No, adi kaadu point. One is you're polluting the environment. Second, you're eating poison, right? It doesn't take too much time to wash your own plate. 5 minutes it takes. You have your prasadam, go to the place, keep a that scrub and thing, taka. Immediately you'll wash it, just keep it there, right? And we don't have problem with water also. Water is there, abundantly it's there, right? We can as well do that. By doing that, we are setting an example that we are not adding to the pollution of the environment, and we're also being healthy, right? And see, this is going against the nature. When you do something against the nature, then you have to face the consequences. So whatever is doable within our thing, we should not be lazy on those things. We should be very, particular on doing those things, right? For that matter, if you are doing satsang in amphitheater also, for example, I'm saying, I have like close to 400, 500 plates. I have it in VSK. I'll bring them to Avatar. Let all these plates, let people use plates to take prasadam, khichdi, even in amphitheater. Who will wash them? Let us hire one person for 500 rupees. 500 rupees, nothing. One person will come, he'll take it behind the clubhouse where there is a tap, he'll wash everything, he'll keep back the plates in a place. Is it doable? It is doable. But by doing that, what we are doing, we are setting an example. We are setting an example to everybody that this is not good for us. This is the right thing to do for us. I'm probably, please don't mistake me. If it's not doable, I'm just suggesting, if it's doable, we'll do. I'm not saying that if you use paper plates tomorrow, that's a sin. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying whatever we have to do, which is right according to nature, we should do. And when we go against the nature, we will see some reaction coming. Like in ISKCON temple in Hyderabad, in Abbots, more than 1,200 people have prasadam every Sunday. There are different classes. Now they're not happening. But I have seen 1,200 people, they all eat in steel plates. They wash their own plate. And there is a stacking place, they keep it there. Khatam. And let me tell you, the temple has water problem. They get water in tanker. Still, they are not allowing the paper plates to come in. They're like, take your steel plate, wash it, and keep it to the extent possible, right? So some things, by doing that, we create an exemplifying example. Okay. So I'll stop it here.
That's why I bought my own box so that I started using it.
Chandra Prabhu went one more step ahead. He said he is bringing his own plate. He is bringing his own plate. Anyway, that's also a good idea, no doubt about it.
Very good idea, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Get your own plate, get your own dabba, so you can eat and you can also take some back. Haribol. If I'm that person, I'll bring a dabba. Haribol. Instead of packing in those covers again, you can put it in the steel box and nicely take it, isn't it? Or somebody became ecstatic, served more than we can eat. Instead of filling our stomach, just eat how much you can and take the remaining home. Eat sometime later in the day, right?
Yeah, so that is the specialty of that box.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji and Matajis, please, I'll stop it here. We are in which verse, Prabhuji? Where did we stop?
32.
32. Okay. We can go further, but I want anybody to ask any questions.
I want to ask one question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So,
is it okay? Is it okay if some of you can come, on your screen? Some of you are already sharing screen, but if you're okay, we all will. You can see everybody. We'll feel like a satsang. Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead.
So the senses are encouraging us to do activities, but mind is thinking something else. Though, like sometimes mind is thinking something else, and senses are not related to that. but still, I mean, there is a disconnect between the body senses and the mind. So I feel that. So how is that, and why is that that is happening? So when senses are not pulling you, but mind is doing something and bringing some thoughts in that, and then after that, the body is actually going to do the activities. So is it mind is acting here or senses are acting here?
Prabhuji, senses, see, mind is reminding you your desires. Mind is like a memory box, I told, right? It keeps reminding you your desires, and senses are asking for those desires. Right? For example, your tongue wants to eat, right? Tongue wants to eat. That is a sense, and it is asking for a desire. What is mind doing? Eat gulab jamun, or eat peda, or eat some rasgulla. That is mind telling. But what is intelligence telling? That is too much sugar. Instead of that, have simple, curd rice, or little rice and more salad, something like that. That is intelligence telling. You're following? So senses job is to pull. The job of senses is to pull for desires. Mind reminds you your desires of having, this. Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? Right? And then intelligence regulates those desires.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, Prabhuji and Mataji? Prabhuji, in spite of having all this knowledge, don't think controlling senses is easy. It's not easy. Knowledge doesn't transform people. Practice and association transforms people. Right? I can tell all these sessions just like that. What is the point? So why am I speaking Bhagavad Gita? No, that's not the point. The point is we have to develop through association, through practice, through constant practice, and practice includes failures. Right? Usain Bolt did not run 100 meters, in the first attempt, right? He would have run like 500 times before he finally went to a point where he said that, okay, I can become a runner, something like that. So we also have to practice. We'll fail. Get up, practice. We'll fail. Practice. We'll fail. Sometimes practice. We'll fail. We'll fail rarely, and practice. We'll not fail. Right? But to go to the not fail, it takes practice. You should not give up. Hari bol. Prasad Prabhu's son came. Arey, what a tilak re, khatarnak. Super. Hari bol. Super na. The other day he only organized the satsang. How many came to Prasad Prabhu's house satsang that day? He was the organizer. We were all guests. నేను ఇంకొక అర్ధ గంట లేట్ వచ్చిందంటే నన్ను లోపల రానిపోయాడు. He'll only finish the class. అన్ని చెప్పేశాడు. ఓ మధ్యాహ్నం తిమిరందసే ప్రేయర్ చెప్పేశాడు అన్ని. హరి బోల్. Hare Krishna. Okay, so Provision Majid, thank you very much for joining today's class. I'm very grateful. Your participation is the only encouragement I have to do these sessions. And Acha, one more thing. Maheshwar Prabhu is not there on the call. Yeah, Manjula Mata, you're speaking on mute.
Okay. Prabhuji, he went to temple to clean all that workers came. That's why.
So Prabhuji, there is a good opportunity for us to develop the Hanuman temple in front of our Myhome. It's a big land, and there is a good opportunity to nicely develop the temple. I think Maheshwar Prabhu has taken up. So I was thinking, sometime later in future, we should have some kind of satsangs in that place. So many people will come. It's an open place, open land, and we all can contribute, first by satsangs, and then automatically when people will come, they'll be inspired to do something for the place. And who knows, there might be a big temple. We all might be instrumental in making that big Ramalayam, right? We can have Radha Krishna, we can have Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, right? We can have a huge temple, which will propagate Krishna consciousness in that place. It's a land, government land, endowment land. We all have to develop that place, right? And in this locality, having such a big place is not a ordinary thing. So you all also think about it. There's nothing wrong, in fact, it's something we will leave for Krishna by doing that endeavor. And Prabhuji himself is going through a lot of challenges and things to to clean up the place, to make it good. I think we all can do our part by doing satsangs there. In fact, he asked me, can we do our Sunday morning sessions there? I told, yes, Prabhu, we'll do. Let us wait for some time. Let the corona thing get settled. Maybe we can, now that we have a bigger team, we can start a new batch. We can start a new batch from the scratch, 12 weeks of the SSR, and then continue with Bhagavad Gita from where we are, and people will come there, and more people will be encouraged to come toward devotional life and contribute for the development even in that area. Yeah, what do you all feel?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so think about it. If you have time sometime to go out and walk, you can walk and see the place. Maybe Maheshwar Prabhu can show you the place. And I could not come and do that. I was pretty busy all this while, and then Corona started. But I told Prabhuji that I want to come, and we can start doing something, some small little things, like having, buying. I was thinking just buy a pandal, Whenever you want, just erect the pandal. Whenever you want, just keep the pandal down. Like a virtual temple kind of a thing. We can start with some little things, and we can use that place to encourage. There is hallmark people, who can come. Say within Myhome Avatar, only Myhome Avatar comes. But we have hallmark also, and we have many other apartments like Muppa on the other side. We can publicize that some courses are being done. We all together we can do a lot of things, right? Together we can make this a much bigger society, and eventually a beautiful temple will come. We can tell our grandchildren, "Em chesavu tata, oka temple kattichanu nenu." Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I think most of us do not know that there is a temple.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think keeping one maybe a signboard or something right at the main road, right, should at least give some information about the temple, and then beautification, right? I mean, having some plants, would definitely attract people coming. Right now, it is in a very, different state where it won't give you that, devotional or a wow feeling there, right? Once you go there, I think as a group, maybe small effort, like you say, right, Samadhanam types things.
Samadhanam, yes.
Yeah, going there together, cleaning few stuff, or maybe guide the workers to do some cleanup.
Yeah,
that should.
I think it probably once we, Mataji.
Cleaning process is going on. Workers came and.
Yeah. No, but everything involves money also, Mataji, and we together can do a lot. Each one puts 1,000 also, it will make a big difference. So I think it's a good idea that Prabhuji told. Similar ideas we have to pull it together, right? Similar ideas we pull it together, and we should implement them month after month. And then you see simplest thing that I feel is I had put some sheds in the VSK for the cows. I kept a lot of sheds for summer వచ్చినప్పుడు కానీ అట్లాంటి ఒక షెడ్ కట్టి చేసేవచ్చు అక్కడ. We can make one shed where all programs can happen there nicely. What we need there, nothing much. We need to check if there is water, and if there is not much water, we can get tap connection to that place. If need be, we can even have a bore well done, right? Whatever is needed, we can get it done one after the other, and make the place more operational for devotional activities. See, a lot of times what happens, temple become more like a ritualistic place, but we should add activity to it, right? Like classes, like Krishna conscious classes are going on, kirtans are going on. We do some nice kirtan festival. A lot of people will come. They'll say, "Oh, kirtan is nice," right? We can do book distribution there, and we can encourage. How many of us are thinking about what facilities the pujari has there? We have to ask the pujari what facilities you need, right? And provide a nice facility for the pujari. Does he have a proper place to live? Is he coming there and going, right? Do we need a toilet there? Where people who come there, if they want to, go for personal thing, you can go and come, right? Hire a cleaner. Together we can fund it. It's not a big thing together, and we can also get funding from outside if it is needed, right? There are many organizations which fund for such things. We can encourage them, and eventually in a matter of 5, 6, 7 years, we can develop that into a big, center for education, for Bhagavad Gita education, Bhagavatam education. Everything is in our hands. Land is there, so we have to develop it. But I think good steps are being taken by Prabhuji, and we can work with him. Maybe sometime, once this corona wave a little bit goes down, we all can have a meeting there and see what we all can do.
Sure, Prabhuji, we'll do it.
Yes.
Prabhuji, one question. You said it is government land, right? Will the I think permission of government is needed, no? If we have to do all these.
We can do it's a government land for devotional activity. We'll discuss that with Prabhuji. I think he will have a better idea how to make it work.
Already permissions.
Yeah. Okay, so nice. We have discussed something very positive, and we only have to desire. Krishna antadu meer okka mette andi nenu 1000 metlu estanu. So we have kept that 1 feet forward. And one more thing, this Prabhuji is not there on the call. Simachal Prabhu is not there, but we have to start thinking about the Rath also. Rath for the next Amphitheater. Right? We don't have a Rath. The old one is broken, and we thought we'll construct one. So we should start planning for that. Maybe it's already February. It at least take 2 months to construct the Rath. And Rath Yatra comes somewhere in June or July. Right? So let us start planning for that. Whatever little small one we can construct, whether it with a wood or with metal, whichever way, start thinking about it. Maybe after a few weeks we'll have a meeting, and we'll execute that. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Who is singing Narshing Arti? Yeah, last week some child told she'll sing Narshing Arti. Huh? Is it your daughter, Rajaramesh Prabhu, or was it?
I will sing it, Prabhuji.
Sing? Yeah, please. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can you please display it on the screen?
Should I display on screen? Okay, 1 minute. No problem. I'll display on the screen. Yeah. These prayers, if we sing every day, in our homes, we can easily by heart them. It becomes like part of our life. So let's do that at our homes also. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. Share my screen. Okay, done. You can see?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Yeah, go ahead.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahaladaladaine. Prahaladaladaine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Hiranyakashi
Purvakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimha
Parato Narasimha.
Yeto yami tato Narasimha.
Yeto yami tato Narasimha.
Bahir Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Bahir Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prabhate.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prabhate.
तव कर कमलवरेण कामद्भुत शृङ्गा ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुभृङ्गा तव कर
कमलवरेण
अद्भुत
अद्भुत शृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तानुभृङ्गा
केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
नित्य गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल भक्त विघ्ननाश नरसिंह देव भगवान की
जय
भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्रील गुरुदेव की निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल
हरि बोल.
So I've just been seeing Usha Mataji's comments in the chat. She's saying the temple already has a board, but I think we have to keep it at a very prominent place, like Ramesh Prabhu said. And Pujari comes on Tuesday and Saturday, does puja, and 100 to 200 people come for food every Saturday. So on Saturday afternoon, Bhagavatam classes can be held. So we can do something on Saturday afternoon. Okay. So I think we'll meet once. I think we all should meet once with Maheshwar Prabhu. He's on the thing, so we can understand how we can support him, and let us see whatever Krishna is willing. Hare Krishna.
Every Saturday, Annadhanam is going on every Saturday from so many weeks.
Yeah. So we can be part of it, and we can also plan for some nice, creating awareness session kind of a thing.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. So I will call Prabhuji, and maybe we'll have some meeting once this whole dust of Corona, whatever Omicron settles, maybe in another 2-3 weeks, we all can meet and do a lot of things.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So నేను అడిగినట్టు చెప్పండి Mataji, Prabhuji ni.
Definitely, Prabhuji. మళ్ళీ కాల్ చేస్తాను.
హరే కృష్ణ. దండవత్ ప్రణామం Mataji. నేను రేపు మాట్లాడతాను Mataji. ఇవాళ మళ్ళీ కంటిన్యూస్ సెషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి నాకు సాయంత్రం కూడా.
ఓకే Prabhuji.
ఓకే టుమారో. హరే కృష్ణ Mataji. దండవత్ ప్రణామం. వాంఛాకల్పతరుభ్యశ్చ కృపాసింధుభ్యో చ పతితానాం పావనేభ్యో వైష్ణవేభ్యో నమో నమః. అనంత కోటి వైష్ణవ వృంద की जय. All assembled devotees की जय. हरि बोल. हरे कृष्ण.
हरि बोल. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.